And I have a big question for you today. Who are you walking with? You know, I was born in London, and I moved to Barbados. My mother was from Barbados. And so I moved from England to Barbados with a British accent. They'd pay me to talk. Little girl, talk. So I would talk and get money. But when I got to school, the kids didn't like me so much because I was different. Anybody know something about being different here? And about the time I settled in there and got through the drama of being bullied in Barbados, I got to move to America and be bullied again. Because by now I had a Bajan accent. I sounded like Rihanna. And once again, I was different. So they beat that accent out of me. And I'm telling you, it was a very difficult time in my life. You know, bullying is nothing to play with. And I know that a lot of people, they have cyberbullying. I don't know what that is, but physical bullying is no fun either because people punch you, they hit you. And so a lot of times it got so bad that teachers would have to drive me home. And I would just dread getting up to go to school. And one day, I don't know what happened, but this guy named, we used to call him Ronald Alexander. His name really was Ronald Alexander. But for some reason, we ended up calling him Ronald Alexander. And Ronald Alexander was like really tall. Like I was in first grade and they had put me to third grade because I was too smart because, you know, the British system is advanced over. And that was part of my problem. I was too smart. But Ronald Alexander had to be the biggest guy in the whole school. And he just decided that he was going to defend me. So he told everybody, leave her alone. She's my cousin. And I was like, really? Oh, yeah, he's my cousin. But from that day on, nobody messed with me because Ronald Alexander was my cousin. And he would walk with me. And everybody was afraid of him, so they didn't mess with me. You see, who you walk with can be a matter of security. I remember the famous E.V. Hill, who was a very big, famous pastor in California, had a huge church and following worldwide, went to Israel on a trip with Jesse Jackson, who was a great icon of the civil rights movement, walked with Martin Luther King. And so a lot of people didn't know who E.V. Hill was on the trip. So, you know, they would be walking with massive security with Jesse Jackson, taking him on the rounds, you know, to the Wailing Wall. They got there, and Evie was walking behind him, and they stepped in front of Evie like this, and he said, I'm with him. And they parted the way for Evie to walk through. Then they went for a very special meeting, and once again, he was met by security. He said, I'm with him. And they parted the way again. They finally went to their last meeting, and he said, the same thing happened. They stepped in front of him because they didn't know who he was. And he said, I'm with him. And they said, right this way. He said, you know, one day, I know I'll step up to the pearly gates, and there'll be security at the gates. And I'll point to Jesus standing in the background, and I'll say, I'm with him, and I know they'll part the way, and I'll be granted entree. Who are you walking with?